Hey guys, this is What If here. I've been meaning to make this sort of video for a little bit, at least in terms of like what I'm going to do and sort of things, just what's been going on with me. The last thing you really knew was just the whole tax thing, and that's all past. That's fine. I paid for that all, and there was no worries. Like I said in the video, I had money to pay for it and everything. That wasn't really the problem. It just sucked that it was just so much because I wasn't expecting it. It was the first year I've ever had a return, so it was something to learn from and all that. But another thing that's been just on my mind is the Patreon goal, the big Patreon goal that I've been really striving to get and achieve is getting a new camera, and afterwards would be a new chair, pretty much. But those will be the two big ones, primarily the camera being the first one. As the weeks and months have gone by, I've been thinking about if what to do when I get that amount, and planning it all out, how what camera to get. But the last few days, it's been on my mind because something else kind of happened that was in my personal life, and I'll share it with you. I don't care, but I've been kind of dealing with like a heartbreak of sorts. Pretty much to put it shortly, I had feelings for somebody else. They didn't feel the same way about me, and it's one of the worst feelings. I mean, I've never really had like relationships that much, if at all, and certainly not as one as I felt as strongly towards as I did with this person. And having like that sort of rejection sort of thing just really hurts. And I've been thinking, this has happened about maybe almost a week ago now, and I've just been thinking about it, and just it was nothing of their doing. It wasn't their fault. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm a piece of shit, or thinking badly about myself. It was just more of just like, this sucks, it's just hard to get over it. And what I've been thinking is, because normally when this sort of stuff happens to me, I always had Roadhouse, or my job, or whatever I was doing, the YouTube stuff, like that's always been keeping my mind off things. But another thing that's been eating away at me, and this has been happening since I've been doing this since October 2016, with doing YouTube and taking it more seriously than I've ever done beforehand, was the classic term, getting outside. That's not happened very much for me, if at all. And the thing that's been really eating away at me, and my sanity's sake for that matter, is just not getting outside enough and not doing simple things that I used once to do. Like I used to golf and I used to bowl. Those were two things I used to do back in my spare time in high school, and free times. So those are two things I used to do, and I don't do them anymore. And with YouTube and doing that all the time, I'm pretty much inside a lot, unless I go and get food like BK or McDonald's or pizza, takeout, whatever it may be. And it's just been grating on my sanity, and it's a very, doing YouTube like this, I guess it's more or less that like making the videos is not really the hard part. It's more of just that it takes a toll on your mental sanity. Like you really start to, after a while, just start to lose it a little bit. Like it's very draining to do this sort of thing, at least as far as like your mental state is concerned. I'm not saying like, oh, the videos I make are really fucking complicated. That's not the point. But after a while, it takes a toll on you mentally, and I really need to just get out of the house and just be out for even if it's once a week, just to do something that I used to do. And this ties back to, well, you said bowling or golf, so which one is it going to be? And it's going to be bowling, because it's something I've been doing. I don't think many people have known, but I've been doing it since 2006, and I used to do this from 2006 to 2014, basically about 8 years. And then since then, high school ended. That's when I used to bowl, was during the weekends on Saturday. And then when our high school started doing it, I did that all the way to 2014. And then after that was Roadhouse and work, and then I just didn't have time to bowl and all that sort of stuff. So because I was so into it at the time, I had a locker at my local lanes, and I had like a year membership fee where I renewed it every year. It was, you know, pretty much a locker where you put your bowling ball in your shoes and whatever else you need. And I used that. And pretty much, I went there. This was sometime in like 2016 when after one of my work shifts ended. I went down there. I was going to pick my stuff up and take it home because I wasn't going to use it anymore. So I went to the locker. I came back out. And yeah, the bowling ball was cracked. Like all the way around. It wasn't like a little crack and it could be a little bit. No, it was a crack all the way around the thing. And it made the bowling ball completely just not usable. And mind you, this was a Storm Vivid bowling ball, and that was a $350 bowling ball. It was the newest kind they had at the time. I purchased it in 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. And it might have been even 2012. I can't remember, but it was somewhere around that year. And it sucked. It made that ball completely useless. I couldn't use it anymore. And why it cracked and it was sitting in the locker there, I don't know. One, this is not even the first time this has happened to me. This happened a second time. That was the second time. The first time it happened was the same sort of scenario, but the ball was left in there for like 2 years or something. And the second time it was only left in there for maybe less than a year. I mean, I don't know. I could be getting the years wrong. It could be maybe I went there in 2015 and I realized that there was a crack in there for the second bowling ball and it was only less than a year from like the high school stuff. I don't know, but point is, it was cracked, it was unusable, and basically I was, I had to get a new one. And obviously, because I was working at the time, I obviously had money, but I didn't have like $300 some odd to fork over a bowling ball, in which something I wasn't just doing at the time anymore. So it just kind of, that idea of getting a new one just kind of went to the wayside, and all that. And pretty much what I've been thinking about doing is, instead of using the Patreon money and probably my own money to get a new camera, I'm going to have to get a new bowling ball, and it's going to be the same brand as I used to have. The good thing is that it's $250 now compared to $350, so that's good. However, that amount of money is going to go, part of that's going to go from the Patreon funds, and I feel really bad about it. I don't want you to think I'm trying to be selfish and or anything, because you guys mean so fucking much to me. And for the sake of my sanity and everything, it would help me out so much just to do that once a week, to do something I loved so much and I can get back into. And it would be a help. It'll be a help for my mental state, mental stake. And I just hope you guys are okay with that. That's my biggest worry. I'm just afraid that you're gonna think like that, like I'm just completely backstabbing all of you and everything. Like I don't want to get that impression off that I wanted you to all understand why this decision is going to be this way and everything. Like that is why. And obviously the taxes thing kind of hurt too, because I was funding the money for the camera, and a portion of that went away for the taxes that I didn't know I had to pay that much. But I learned, okay, it's a learning curve. But as the months have gone by and stuff with that, and what's been going on now with the whole heartbreak situation and all that, I really just need to just simply get out of the house, do something, even if it's once a week. That's what I used to do with bowling. I would go for a league once a week, and that was a nice thing to have. And it would be something to consider, and something that I really want to do. And just thinking about it makes me feel so much more happier that there is a option to do something or look forward to just that little bit. and I would just so love to do that and all that, but I want to make sure that I made this video so you people understand like the decision, the motives, and everything behind this decision, and don't have any sort of angst or malice towards me. And I really hope that is not the case, and if I let anybody down, I'm sorry, but I just want you to understand like the decision and why it's like that. I hope you're okay with that. Now that doesn't mean like the camera thing is never going to happen. It will. I absolutely want to get a good camera that can record longer than the 30 minutes. You've all known the issues I've had with this camera, and not seeing the viewfinder, just guessing on it, and like the battery life on it, I have no clue how long it goes for, because it goes from full to zero, the 30-minute limit, their 29-minute limit the camera has. I always say 30 because I'm just rounding it up, but 29-minute limit that the camera has, because this camera isn't really made to be a camera. It's just a picture thing. Like the recording's just a secondary thing, but it's all I have right now. But I want to put my priorities straight, because obviously the camera would be more beneficial to the business, air quotes. But I need to bowl, and I just need to get out of the house. And I just hope you understand. I hope you understand the decision. And like I said, that does not mean the camera thing will never happen and getting a new one. I do absolutely want to get a new camera before NASCAR Heat 3 comes out, or whatever they're going to title it. So that is the plan. That still is something I want to happen. I just don't think it'll happen as soon as I would like. So obviously, it's just been on my mind, and I hope you understand. I really do. So I hope this video explains some things, at least where like the money's going. I don't want to keep you guys like in the dark and wondering like, you know, he promised this and all, because we've all heard the horror stories of Patreon and people not, you know, being, you know, putting back into like, you know, what they're pledging and all that sort of stuff. So I don't want to come off as that is, I don't know. I'm rambling on for too long, but yeah. Thanks for watching. If you stuck around, like I said, I hope you're okay with this decision for the time being. So yeah, nothing's gonna change with the channel. No videos are gonna be swapped or switched out of thing. No, it's just that you don't have to worry about that. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Like I've been saying like 20,000 times, I hope you understand the decision and you're okay with it. So I'll see you all later, and as always, have a good day, everyone.